Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Plaid Couch reading Reddit stories. Today we each picked a story from the Am I the Asshole subreddit, so I guess we'll just dive right into it here. Am I the asshole for going to my birthday dinner without my husband when he wasn't ready on time? It was my 40 female 40th birthday a few days ago, and we had a reservation for a table at a nice restaurant for 7 p.m. It takes about 20 minutes to drive to the restaurant, so I planned to leave the house at 6:30 to build in time for traffic and picking up my father. My husband, 43 male, had decided to do a bit of work on his car about a half an hour before we need to leave. At 6:30, when the kids and I were waiting by the door, he was still doing it. He hadn't changed and he hadn't showered. I told him to quickly get ready, but it got to be 6:50 and he still wasn't ready, so I decided to just leave without him. He has a habit of always running late when we go out, and he is always the last one to be ready. Normally I can tolerate it, since it only sets things back by 10 minutes at the most, but my birthday dinner was important to me, and I had been looking forward to it for weeks. Making us wait for 20 minutes was taking the mick, so I yelled out that we were leaving and left. Because I didn't want to lose the table, since we would have arrived about 7:20. I called the restaurant to let him know that we would be late, and we luckily still had our table. But my husband didn't show up at the restaurant, and when we got home, he was mad at me. I told him that I was tired of him not respecting my time and always making people wait for him, and that he could have made his own way to the restaurant. My father agreed with my decision to leave without him, but my kids were a little upset that he wasn't there to have dinner with us. So, am I the asshole?
No. I am someone who always tries to be on time for things, even early. Because I understand people's time is important. They had a reservation that they had to make. I understand why the kids are upset, because that's their dad,
Yeah.
They want a whole family time together. But, I mean, you only get so many warnings before they leave without you.
Yeah. I agree. It just annoys me when people, I just don't understand people who are always late. But
Matthew?
I'm somebody...
Yeah, sure.
I'm somebody who's usually either on time or early, like you said. So I'm like, oh my God, like, come on, hurry up. I work in real estate, so I have a pretty time-sensitive schedule every day at work, and it just drives me crazy when people like roll into an appointment like 10 after they're supposed to be there. And it's like, how do you just not come on time? And I get that things happen, and like I have been late to things, but like some people just have no respect for other people's time.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a reservation on something like that. It's like you're gonna hold other people up because you're taking your time when it doesn't, like, yeah, you're working on your car, that could wait. It sounded like it wasn't
Obviously.
a priority at the moment. Like, your wife seemed excited about her birthday dinner, like...
Yeah, how awful is it that he was more worried about his stupid car than his wife's birthday dinner?
Yeah. But no, not the asshole. I'd have done the same thing. I probably would have left even 10 minutes earlier. I've been like, see ya. We're leaving.
Would I be the asshole for discouraging my boyfriend's art career? I, 28 female, love my boyfriend, 27 male, very much. He is a very empathetic and idealistic guy. He studied art history and is now trying to make a name for himself as an artist, paintings primarily. I myself am a little more pragmatic, idealistic. Also, I am a human rights lawyer. But I feel that his attempts at becoming an artist are very naive. The problem started when he finished studying. I had no problem with him studying art history, though I do feel like that it's risky with limited career options, combined with the fact he assembled over 80,000 euros student debt, as he didn't work much on the side and got no support from his parents. I myself studied law and worked on the side, and was lucky enough to have parents that supported me, so I assembled no student loan. After finishing his studies, I thought he would try to get a junior job at a museum, or maybe he would end up working in a more boring government job if things didn't work out in the art scene. However, for the last 3 years, he has been working 2 days in a boring administrative job for minimum wage and spent the other 3 days making paintings. I am no expert in paintings, but I really feel that he isn't a very good artist. I never tell him so, of course, but I also don't often express enthusiasms about his work. His attempts, however, to sell paintings or to be included in expositions have been very unfruitful, and I have been considering how to express my concern without being a horrible girlfriend. I can sometimes feel really angry when I get home from my hard job. I often work long hours, 5 days a week, and see him playing Xbox on the couch or finishing a painting that looks bad. It makes me feel like I am working hard for our shared future. We are not sure whether we want to have kids together, but we haven't ruled out the idea. Whereas he seems to be slacking, I have gotten angry 1 or 2 times in more minor ways. I am not a fan of conflict, but we always talked it out, and I ended up apologizing. Recently, I have just felt like I can't take the frustration anymore. What to do? Would I be the asshole if I told him to quit making art?
That's a tough one, isn't
Yeah.
It is.
Obviously, her husband loves doing
Loves
art,
making art.
but
It doesn't sound like it's a plausible career
Yeah.
for him, personally. It just doesn't
You
seem
know,
to be working
maybe
out.
one day his art will be recognized,
Right.
and he can make a full-time career out of that. But right now it needs to stick as a hobby where he does it in his free time. He needs to work
I
more to
see.
help support.
You still need to make a living. It's
Yeah.
really hard to find that perfect balance
Mm-hmm.
between exercising your hobbies and, everybody wants to turn their passions into a full-time
Yeah.
job.
Like right now we're all
I say
working
that's-
40 plus hours a week.
That's exactly what we're doing.
and we do this on the side.
Mhm.
I edit after I get off work for several hours. It's not fun. There's plenty of times where I'm like, if this was just my full-time job, it'd be so much easier.
Mhm.
But that's not idealistic right now.
Mhm.
My current job's helping me pay my mortgage and everything I need. Do I hope one day this can be a full-time job? Yes, but I know that's going to take time and effort. But I hope one day Plaid Couch can be that for all of us here, and hopefully more people in the future. But what are your guys' thoughts? I don't want to talk too much about this.
Well, mine are kind of the same as yours. Hobbies and just creative outlets are very important. I think it's something that as you get older, people tend to not think of as important or, just a waste of time. And I couldn't disagree more. Even when I'm not doing this, something that I don't talk about ever is I was really into writing in high school. I don't do it much anymore. I didn't go to school for it. I took one creative writing class long ass time ago. But, sometimes I just write just because I got to get that creative
juice flowing.
juice out of me. And it's just one of those things where it's I don't want to be known for a writer. I don't think I'll ever write anything, that's worth other people to read or anything like that. But it's one of those things where it's really important to me to get down on paper. I like to improve upon it. I don't want anybody to peer review my stuff. I don't want to take any classes for it. It's just something
Strictly for you.
that I need to do to get out there. And I have other things for that too. Every now and then I'll pick up some stupid hobby for a couple weeks, or, we do this. Like you said, it'd be great if this takes off and we can make it a career, but if it just stays like this, that's fine too. I love doing it. It's fun. But also, I have, my professional life is very important to me as well, because it's I don't know if this will ever turn into anything. I don't know if I'll ever become a New York Times best-selling author with my notebook writings that I won't share with literally anybody. So I think it's very important to express yourself creatively. I think more adults need to recognize that. It's really good for your mental health too, like especially as a creative person, to get that out of you. I find myself in really bad ruts when I don't do anything creative, and my mental health kind of just tanks. And then if I go out and like, create anything, then it's like, okay, I feel a little bit better now. But also, it's important to have a stable career, be able to pay your bills, have health insurance, I've got a 401k, that's nice, It's just things like that where it's boring, it's mundane, but it is just as important as your hobbies and your passions. So it's just really finding that balance. So, boring answer.
For me, first off, I really like doing this stuff as well, and with Tegan having a lot of ideas for the future, I'm really looking forward to.
Well, I mean, it's not just me. We all have ideas we want to do in the near future. It's just we have to be smart about things. We can't bite off more than we can chew at the moment.
Yeah.
We take the time we can get to film. But yeah, it is one of those things, Matthew, where I think we're all looking forward to, I can't wait till we do this. I mean, earlier today we were all talking, this will be so much fun to do. Looking forward to this. We do have some other things coming in the not too distant future.
So stay tuned.
It's going to be fun.
We didn't really answer if this girl's the asshole or not. We went on a big old tangent.
No, she's not the
I
asshole.
don't think she is. She has a right to be concerned.
Yeah.
I don't want to drag this out any longer, but we kind of went way off topic there.
She's not the asshole. She has a very
She's a
valid
valid
reason
concern,
why.
Yeah.
I mean, he's working 2 days a week and then staying home, playing Xbox and painting. And it seems like he's mostly playing Xbox. He's not cleaning. I could understand, if he's working part-time, making sure the house is clean, and then painting or playing Xbox. The other thing is, there's so many different outlets now, like Etsy's a thing. There's so many different websites where people can sell their art and their creations.
Etsy is a wonderful place. I love Etsy.
I understand that makes it such a wider pool for people to be. But, that could be an avenue where this guy's selling his art. One of those websites.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like he's waiting for a millionaire to look at it and say, I need this painting.
Am I the asshole for telling my brother that he's going to be a shit dad? I, a 30-year-old male, was at my brother's, 34 male's, house when my sister-in-law, 31 female, went into labor. They live in the countryside, so the signal isn't too great sometimes, unless they walk up the lane, so my brother was supposed to take her to the hospital instead of calling an ambulance, but for some reason, he decided to freak out and drive off somewhere. I can't drive, so I ran up the lane to call 999. It took forever to get signal, and then it took forever for the ambulance to get to the house. I almost had to deliver the baby. She ended up giving birth in full in the back of the ambulance. This whole time, my brother had just disappeared. He finally turned up at the hospital about 8 hours after he disappeared. Apparently, he'd gone to our dad's house until he found out that my sister-in-law gave birth and made my brother go see her. I yelled at him outside the hospital for being so stupid. He told me that he just got scared and didn't know what to do. I told him that he's going to be a shit dad if he keeps reacting like this. What's he going to do when the kid gets injured and it's his responsibility to take him to A&E? Is he just going to dump the kid and run off to dad's again? He's such an idiot. He started crying and called me a twat for being so mean to him. I just lost it with him, and he was acting like a child when he should be comforting his wife and apologizing to her for disappearing. He called me a very bad word and told me that I don't understand what he's feeling. I get that he was scared, but he seriously needs to get a grip and help his wife. Am I the asshole?
No, I mean, I understand that's a very stressful moment. But to just run off for 8 hours because you're scared to deal with that stuff is...
Well, and it's like, I bet like his wife was more scared. She's the one giving birth.
Oh, yeah.
She can't just run away.
Yeah.
She got to deal with it. Like, I would be pissed.
And if the brother wasn't there, then...
She'd been by herself. Yeah. No. Like, someone needed to knock some sense in him. Like, it sucks. Like, clearly this guy really was freaking out, but you got to get a grip.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you've got now 2 people who are going to rely on you for emotional support, and you need to be there, especially something like that. I'd never given birth. I have friends who have given birth, and it sounds like not a great experience. And I would be mad if my husband just bounced out. He's like, nope, I can't handle this. As somebody with an anxiety disorder, I would have, like, went off the rails so fast. And again, what could she do besides just give birth? Yeah.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. I think he did the right thing.
He was being a good brother, I think.
Yeah.
Because he really needed to knock some sense into him.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine, like, obviously that stuff is scary, but I don't think in that moment I'd be able to just drive off.
Yeah.
Well, because you have 9 months to plan for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually around 9 months to plan for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, here's what's going to happen. You know.
Yeah.
Now, does it always go to plan? No, but...
Well, and also, like, if you love somebody, you don't want to leave them in that
Of course not.
situation.
Anyway, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.